What's your favorite question to ask someone to get to know them better? What would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you rather fight 50 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? You're stranded on an island for the rest of your life. On the island is a solar-powered CD player that will run forever. What 5 albums do you bring to listen to for the rest of your life? How many dogs have you pet? I've pet 1,306. Deleted. What do you believe happens to you when you die? Mario Kart 64 character. What would someone need to know about you, that without knowing this, they wouldn't really know you? Top 3 ways to eat potatoes. I feel like it tells you a lot about a person. Like, if you're not a fan of potatoes, we don't need to be friends. What was your first concert? Gets people talking about either something they love or something they have nostalgia for usually. What is your opinion on underscore? What's something you have a hard time understanding? How important is it to learn about history? Leave the definition of history open to interpretation. I really like to ask people where they plan on retiring. Got any good news today? No matter how big or small. If hell and heaven were personalized, what would yours be like? What's your second favorite movie? What is your idea of a perfect day? I just hope people I talk to don't go on Reddit. Do you like anal? Do you ever wake up and think, man, I wonder what Lorenzo Lamas is doing these days? What was the last time that you had to jump? In an interview, I always ask, what is your favorite book? And or what book helped define the way you approach business? Rank the 4 original starbursts in order of preference. Everyone has strong preference and it's a great icebreaker. Wanna smoke? One of my go-to first date questions was asking someone their favorite cut of steak and how they preferred it cooked. The most common answer was, of course, a cut of beef, usually medium rare or medium. But over several dates, I learned a lot about someone from the question. For me, my answer is a New York strip, rare, eye. The favorite answers I encountered were a swordfish steak, an AE tuna fillet, cooked very rare, and a parsnip steak. Each answer gave me different insights into the person. I usually tell a funny story or something that made me happy today before asking them a similar question. I'm a medical receptionist and do this to make patients feel more relaxed. Unfortunately, my mom works with me and these stories tend to be embarrassing ones about me. What was an adventure you recently went on? After introducing myself, then ask what my name is. Pivot questionnaire is my go-to. This thread is really helpful, thanks op. Tell me a secret no one else knows about you. When was the hardest you ever laughed? What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever found yourself doing while procrastinating something? Have you murdered anyone recently? What is your perfect meal and why? Can tell a lot by what they say. What's your favorite spirit/liquor, including the brand? Hey, if someone offered you weed, would you take it? When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? What are you passionate about? Loan me a $5. What video games do you like? What vacation could you take for $300? Who would win in a fight, a Kodiak grizzly or a silverback gorilla? If you could eat any endangered animal, which one would it be? What's your least favorite fruit? People have surprisingly strong opinions about fruit, and this question has resulted in a lot of very funny Mandarin suck and I'll die on this hill type conversations. When's the last time you cried? Then I follow it up with, what's the happiest day of their life? Would you rather give up cheese or oral? One of my first questions when meeting new people/co-workers is what their favorite movie is. What's your favorite skin color? Okay, here's the shot out of the cannon. Oprah, Barbara Walters, your wife. You gotta fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go. How much potato salad can you fit between your big toe? Hi, how are you? And stay put for and answer. Tunes. Have you ever seen a ghost? What color is your toothbrush? Then if they ask why, I reply coyly, you can really tell a lot about a person by the color of their toothbrush. Then if they ask how or like what, I am forced to admit that I have no idea. This is just a random question I thought of when I was 14 and I got nothing better because I'm a pod person, a shell of a human being whose whole personality has been lifted from crappy 90s sitcoms, and then I flee and go back to my damp apartment, feed my cat, order a pizza, and eat the whole thing while standing over the sink like a rat and gently sobbing that I have never and likely will never experience true connection to another human being. I ask what their favorite bar food is. Most people's are unique and you hear a ton of different answers. 2 parts. What do you love about yourself? What would you change about yourself? When your brain has time to wander, where does it go? What are you most passionate about and continually strive to learn more about it, be better at? Enough about me, let's talk about you. What do you think of me? Are you a Zelda or a Zoe? But where are you really from? Mandatory/S. I heard it so many times, better make a joke out of it at this point. What are your hobbies? There's an issue of Batman from around 2007 that focuses on the Joker catching a man and presenting him with his wife tied up over a vat of acid. The Joker will let her down safely, but there's a catch: Batman is tied up over another vat next to her, and the mechanism in place means that freeing one causes the other to plummet to their doom. Who do you choose? Tell me about your largest bowel movement. As a psychologist, I start with tell me about your mother. Who's your favorite band or musical artist? The answer to that usually tells me most of what I need to know. What kind of men/women are they into? At least be something fun. What do people assume about you that isn't true? I can learn a lot about somebody by knowing their favorite video game hash, and if they don't play games, I don't wanna be friends. Can I smell your feet? If you were on death row, what would your last meal be? What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Has he taken any time to show you what you need to live? Are you a virgin? If someone barrages me with all these questions, I'll know they were on Reddit, and finally I'll have something to talk to them about. If you could get into one hobby that you aren't into right now, what would it be? I like to ask, what is your favorite book? I think you can find out a lot about what people enjoy by what their favorite book is. Did you vote for Trump? Top or bottom? Ask them to rank their Pixar movies. Do you watch anime? If so, what's your favorite anime? Do you think the ocean or space is more frightening? Gets people surprisingly fired up. Among other things, of course, I tend to ask someone what they think about someone we know in common or a public figure. The way someone talks about others says a lot about them. Tells me how they choose to articulate, how respectful or judgmental, etc. What's your favorite shape? Do you believe in aliens? Why or why not? The why not explanations can lead to some interesting banter. What's your favorite color? It's simple and basic, but it tells a lot about someone. What was the second best moment of your day? Have I seen you in here before often? What are your hobbies and why? What's your favorite ice cream flavor? If they read at all? Favorite books/writers? If not, then favorite movies and characters. If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why? I always ask what football team they support. Are they a glory hunter supporting whoever is on top, or are they loyal to their slightly hopeless local team? Tells me a lot. And if they don't like football or support Sunderland, then I know it's probably time to walk away, lol, smiley face. Mother's maiden name, first pet and street you lived on as a child? What do you have least in common with others? What did they want to be when they were a little kid? When and how did you realize that Santa was fake? Closest you've come to death. My favorite 1-2 punch. How are you doing? Followed by how are you doing mentally? First answer is almost always good whether they mean it or not, while the other has to make them think on how they actually are. May not get to know their personality, but I get to know how they are doing better. What makes you geek out? What's your strongest opinion on a topic that most people could not care less about?
With